Yeah! This started real quick, but I figured it out. I'm supposed to place a miner, and of course we have whatever these are. This go into that, into this container. Then we collect some leaves. Upgrade the leaves to biomass. Place biomass right here being fed, so we don't have to actually do anything. Watch it go. Let's connect that one up with a 4 and 4. And that's 2 minutes in, and we already have the base in a setup. I think I missed something by skipping to tier 1 immediately, but if you're gonna give me the option to skip a tutorial, I'm going to skip it. We're here, we can scan for other stuff like limestone and copper. Limestone, perfect. Of course I didn't think this through. Let's deconstruct that real quick. How long can I go with this? Pretty far though. That is pretty far for one go. We're gonna look for copper. And look at that. I can't seem to find a way up. Yeah, that works. Then we place a little tower. And with a small little feeding hole here as well. With the wire connected up and some feeding here, we should have no sloop. And what we will build, obviously I need a smelter here. Then we build a constructor there and one right next to it for different reasons. Focus on wires for this one. Look at that wire! Fortunately we don't have the same luck over here, and we will have to craft these by hand. And in the meantime we will collect more biofuel. Oh, what is this? Increased blah 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 blah. I am curious what this is. Wow, look at this. Oh, you're ugly. Leave me be, you're ugly. Oh, this isn't a lethal fall. Aha, you wish to dance? I'll have you know, I'm the greatest fighter. He died before I could even say something quirky. 225. I'm just gonna stand here for a while then. To upgrade this further, let's launch it. This split is actually the reason we will do a cute little... Wait, I gotta do it right here. Let's merge. This one will make cables. Wait, this is wrong. So it makes wires, so we can later have cables. There we go. So we now have wires going through and one already being processed. Now we should have cables and wires fighting to go through, with one being of course limited, one being just processed, which will lead into this chest, another chest. And I have to clean this one. This constructor should do plates. That one can't feed it. It needs to feed. This one needs to go. Let's see if it works now. Then we do this way. Now this line should lead all the way to this little merger, which comes from this little container that should be feeding out biomass to all three, which means this one gets filled first, third, and you know, I guess we want to make rods so we can later make screws. Splitter here should be killed. Perfectly in alignment. Sure, that's not in alignment at all. Right, and this should be it. We have now screws and plates going straight into this machinery with no rods. So with this production of pretty much everything in raw, for here we get screws and plates, here we get our copper and wires, We still need to make rods by hand, but they are so quick, so we can just do it by hand. We don't need to build all of that right now for it. And we still need to make a concrete stable. See if we produce more or less the amount needed. Seems like we are producing at a net value of 1. -1. Now that we have a dual processing. Oh, wait a minute. I completely forgot that I do need a smelter, and now we have the network completely up. With this much iron in production, only need biomass, so our job will be to explore. Uh-oh! Looks like we're out of biofuel. We have no choice but to scavenge. I collected some leaves, so we could have some biomass, hoping it will be enough. I'm gonna save my wood, not knowing if I'm gonna have a use for it later or not. And here we now have, let's just collect this and put 100 right away into this. So we have a pretty beautiful view of the construction site with one more ready over here, but of course we need one over here. Apparently I did not need. Now we do have this from before. I think we can just, there we go. Now we should have this concrete going all the way to this little sorting center. I didn't record anything what I just said. Nice. Now I'm just making sure we have enough assortment in a form that we can just split them up, and from there we can transport away or cut that off and produce somewhere else. Same with this, we can just produce and put that inside our storage or move away with a new line going to a new base or something. And since our feeder to all of our energy, as we don't rely on the source, I'll come back to what I mean with that, and just mean that we can actually produce an input from another area. And by not using the main source, I do mean these two biomassers. Still having very little left, it means we can actually collect on a net positive. As long as we just run around and collect fuel, we will have a lot of things crafted automatically for us. I could also turn off a production, but who turn off a production in this game?